Hey, this is Carlos Cavallo from datingadviceguru.com with more secrets to unlock his heart. Today, I want to talk a little bit about personality traits and how your personality impacts your dating. Two personality traits, in fact, that are needed for a long-lasting, long-term relationship. Now, if you had to choose only two traits that your ideal partner needs to have, think about it. What would they be? What makes those traits absolutely necessary to have a wonderful relationship? I want you to think about that for a moment and then list them down. Okay? Now, first of all, did your non-negotiable personality traits match up with the ones that Ty Tashiro talked about in his video? Now, if you haven't seen this video, by the way, you do need to go over to my site, go over to datingadviceguru.com and look at the post of the same name that's called Two Personality Traits Needed for a Long-Lasting Relationship. And watch that video and listen to Ty talk about that, and then come back here. But what I'm going to talk about are these two that he talks about in the video. So you really don't need to look at the video. you can just listen here and find out that according to him, according to Ty Tashiro, the psychologist that was in that video, emotional stability and kindness are the lifeblood of a happy, lasting relationship. So the two that he calls out are emotional stability and kindness. And he says that these two traits will predict whether you and your guy will be together for keeps or eventually you'll have to call it quits. Now, do you agree with this? Before you answer that, let's take a little closer look. Number one, let's talk about the whole less drama, more happiness thing. Tashiro claims that if couples are less prone to mood swings and have a positive outlook on the world, it's likely that they'll last for decades and decades to come. All right, and to me that makes sense. Guys, me included, would rather date a girl who's predictable in the sense that she won't surprise us with emotional ups and downs, or she won't be picking a fight over something trivial. Now, guys won't tell you this, but we want someone who isn't going to complicate our lives because we're generally not big fans of unnecessary relationship drama. It's one of the things guys avoid. We don't like stormy waters. We just don't like that kind of emotional turmoil, which is sometimes called drama. Sure, the occasional argument over something that really matters, that's fine. That kind of emotional turmoil is fine because it comes up. We realize that. But if a guy is spending way too much time fighting over the relationship instead of enjoying it, he's probably going to reconsider his options and, well, he might be looking for an exit strategy. Number two is the curious case of the nice girl. Tashiro says that agreeable-ness is the key to a happy relationship because this type of person has a lot of empathy. They're more agreeable. They usually tend to empathize a little bit more. A partner who cares about your perspective means that they're more generous when it comes to emotional support and affection. So there's emotional generosity and there's emotional stinginess. And there was a time when I had a lot of emotional stinginess because of things that were going on in my life. So I know what both sides of those are. More importantly, a nice partner also doesn't keep score. Think about that one. She gives freely and trusts that her partner will give back equally in the future. That scorekeeping is a bad thing. However, he pointed out that these same people get a bad rap in dating for being nice, which is often perceived as a negative trait, right? Being too nice, get walked over. The way I see it, people see kindness as a weakness only when being nice spills over to being a pushover, right? When you're too nice, you'll put up with bad behavior, which means people will respect you less for it. For instance, I've helped plenty of women put their foot down with men who treat them like a backup booty call. I had to make them understand that the longer they tolerate poor treatment, the more their guy will keep acting the same exact way. So being nice is still a good thing as long as you know when to draw the line and keep guys from walking all over you. In short, I'm pretty much on the same page with Tashiro on this one, probably both of them as well. But what do you think? Is he telling the truth? Or are your top two personality traits totally different from what he came up with? What do you think? Well, while you're thinking about that, I want you to start to get those guys to respect you and treat you like the prize you are, all without having to ask for it. I have a course called Irresistible Desire that talks about how to attract that Mr. Right, and even if he's in your life right now and doesn't see you the way he needs to see you, or you're currently trying to find him, it doesn't matter. You gotta get this guy interested. If you're curious, I want you to head on over to datingadviceguru.com site. Go on over to datingadviceguru.com and click the little Irresistible Desire link up at the top, and I will tell you more about that program there. Until then, I want you to really think about those traits that are on your list. You've got to be able to understand that most of a relationship is the posture you take within the relationship and the attitude that you convey and communicate. It's not just you existing in a vacuum. There's the way you act when you're in a relationship with the man you love, and that determines where that relationship will go. And that's all up to you. And you have to have the right strategy and have to know exactly how guys view that. Yes, there's a lot of love that is up to the whole destiny and fates thing, but there's an awful lot that's completely within your control. Head on over to datingadviceguru.com, and I will see you there. This is Carlos Cavallo. Talk to you soon.